Here we go then. Welcome to this evening's Arrows Entertainment, brought to you live from Reds Bar, Stage 2 at Butlins Minehead. And there are 16 players left in the Players' Championship Finals from the 64 that came here yesterday. And 8 of them will try and force their way through to the final day, the quarterfinals, over the next few hours. 4 matches to come here on Stage 2. Live coverage getting underway with Brendan Dolan, the history maker, looking to get the better of Heta, Damon Heta, the Heat. Big Movember moustache on display. And the favourite to come out of this section of the draw, following this will be Dave Chisnell, who had an astronomical average, but not quite as high as some we saw this afternoon. He takes on Luke Woodhouse, who beat Rob Cross on this stage earlier today. Gabriel Clemens defied an enormous average from Josh Rock. That was more than 112. He plays Neil Zonneveld. And the last match is Jermaine Watermainer, who produced one of his best performances for years. He takes on Ryan Joyce. Watermainer winning against Richard Vainstrow, the 3-figure average, and a big 3-figure finish to end that game, a 164.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Damon to throw first. Game on!
And this will be Russ Bray's last stint on Stage 2 at the Players' Championship Finals. The iconic referee, the voice of darts, is sticking around for a little longer. He's going to officiate the World Championship Final before moving on to a role of PDC ambassador. But who will win the PDC PC?
98.
Well, the former Players' Champion is alongside me, Chris Murphy. It's Paul Nicholson. Paul, it's a field where we do still have some big hitters, but there is opportunity all over the place.
You've been saying that word all day long. And maybe an opportunity for Damon to tick another box. Because if you think about his career to date,
39.
on the floor, won plenty. Won the World Cup on the big stage. Has won on the European Tour. Has won on the World Series. There's only one thing left. That's a big individual title. And something like this would vault him up the rankings. And considering our live rankings, he has gone from being a top 10 player last week to 12th already. But if he wins this game, he'll go back to 10th. That's just the way it works.
Trying to put the heat on Brendan Dolan from the off here, Heta. Main stage action, by the way, Kim Hybrex is up against Stephen Bunting. Michael Van Gerwen, who smashed the average record for this tournament when he posted stats of almost 119. He takes on Mario van den Beharde. Luke Humphries meets Ryan Serling, the most mouth-watering of matchups. And Dimitri Vandenberg plays James Wade. Heta hits double 4 to take the first leg in this best of 19 contest.
Brendan to throw first.
Even in a longer format, that's fairly ominous. Head out of the blocks. Dolan must follow. There are possibilities for comebacks in this format. But what you predominantly see is someone who gets the good start. They are able to keep it. I think you can't afford to let someone get around 3 or 4 ahead, otherwise you are under pressure. But £10,000 guaranteed for these players. They are playing for an extra 10,000 tonight and the opportunity of winning the title tomorrow. Quarterfinals will be in the afternoon, semi-finals and final tomorrow night on the main stage in front of 4.5 baying darts fans. One of the best darts days of the year tomorrow. And it is a day in darting history that has seen 2 very important titles won. One was the very first Grand Slam in 2007, won by Phil Taylor over Andy Hamilton. And 5 years ago today, it was Daryl Gurney who won this title.
93.
Another good scoring leg for the Australian, who has been donning that moustache all month fabulously. It looks so good, there are people thinking he shouldn't shave it off.
I'm not one of them. Shave 60 off that. And another 60. And another double 4. Damon Heta in fine fettle at the start of this contest. Well, whatever was in the water in Minehead this afternoon There's still some left for tonight, it seems, because that's a textbook start from Damon Heta. It's a 15 dart hold followed by a dozen dart break.
And it's his first starts on this stage this weekend, because when he beat Jules Van Dongen by 6 legs to 1, he played pretty steadily and fairly steadily today, but a stiffer test against Kevin Dutz. He might just be going up a notch at the right time, because if you compare someone like Damon Heta to, let's say, Niels Zonneveld, who comes into this event as an outsider and is still involved. We'll see him on this board later on against Gabriel Clemens. Heta's averaging around 90 for the tournament. Zonneveld nearly 100. So don't let names fool you. Form is a better barometer. And at the minute, Heta is baking the stage with really good scoring, and Dolan just can't find the right temperature.
Damon, you require
128 to win the previous leg. 71 remaining after the bull. Would have been another dozen dart leg, but a couple of bullseyes there. I mean, why not? He went to the 25 in the end, but why not try and use that? It was almost too good a guide that it guided it into the bull.
I don't often disagree with you, Murph, but I think the treble 11 was the call.
35.
I'd rather be stuck on 54 than 15.
Fair point. But he wants to leave double 4 again. He's hit it to win both legs so far.
11 score.
Not this time.
Brendan, you require 70.
Chance to get in the match. Could easily be 3-0 down. One of the best darts he's thrown in the match so far. Maybe that is, in fact. That's a great checkout from Brendan. At least he stops Heta from getting a 3-leg jump. And that is the break back that he needed. These two have met 5 times before. And curiously, Brendan Dolan won the first 3 meetings. And at that point, you're thinking maybe Dolan knows how to beat this particular Australian. But since then, they've played on 2 different stages. One in Risa earlier this year, and the World Match Play this year. Both were won by Damon Heta. And one of them was 11 legs to 1. That did not take long at all.
Yeah, first to 10, the format for these last 16 encounters. There will be a break after 10 legs, so we now know that we will get a break in this match.
I thought we'd already had 2.
An interval, Paul, if you want to be.
Ah, I'm being pedantic.
Yes.
60.
I'm being somewhat obtuse.
Just been annoying.
That's another word for obtuse.
Well, Heta's annoyed a few opponents this year just by his brilliance. But everyone's still waiting for him to just lift off in a major event. World Cup aside, of course.
Just think about how many great individuals have not won the World Cup. So we can do a look at that from 2 different sides. How about double 11? Wonderful from Heta. He looks in a really good place. A lot of these shots are bringing a smile to his face, and he enjoyed that one. Immediate break back.
Well, he's had a 1-2-4 and a 1-2-8 now in the first 4 legs.
Yeah, think about some of the most successful darts players in the World Cup era, and the players who have not won the World Cup, who have won individual honours. Someone like James Wade, for instance. There are people out there who have won everything the PDC's got to offer on some level. Then there are others like MVG, who's won at every level multiple times. And in fact, Michael van Gerwen is the only former champion of this event left. If he goes out, there will be a new name on the trophy. A somewhat new trophy.
We've said that a few times this year. Not new trophy, but new name on it. If you haven't seen it, head to the PDC social media. Let us know what you think. That official PDC on various platforms. You like the new trophy, the new style? What do you think? You've held this trophy before, a different version of it.
I'm a fan of the trophy having all of the names on it. In this tournament, we don't get that. We have a different trophy every time. I think it should be a bit more like the World Grand Prix and the World Match Play and the World Championship. I think if you want to give it just a little bit more history, create a trophy that has all of the names of the winners on it. It's not just because I've won it. It's because people like to look at things like that and say, I'm part of that history.
81.
How does Humphreys feel knowing he's looking at Taylor and Van Gerwen and Gurney and Alan Warren a little, thinking, I'm on that list. And he can look at it every day on the mantelpiece. That makes a difference to someone winning a title.
Brendan, you require 121.
Well, Brendan Dolan looking for a third 1-2 something checkout in this match. The other two have been hit against him. And he's not going to get one on his
89.
roll of honour.
Damon, you
Can
require
Heta make it 3 ton toppers?
Not quite.
57.
But what I will say is he's not throwing any bad darts in this game, really. Probably the worst dart he's thrown was at the 25 and hit the bull.
We saw Dolan go 6 out of 6 on the doubles yesterday. But he's 2 out of 2 here.
Brendan, a throw first.
And that's why he's in the match.
Damon.
One of the main reasons why he's 2 from 2 is because he's left 2 doubles that he loves. Double 8 and double 16. He's very much like Ryan Joyce in that regard. And you will see Ryan Joyce in the final match here on board 2 this evening against Jermaine Wattamina. That pick of yours, by the way, for Ryan Joyce to get to the semis, it's looking pretty good at the minute.
60.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say anything yet. The way Jermaine Wattamina played this afternoon, that's going to be a tough task. We're all relentless.
Heck of a celebration as well when he hit that 164 to finish off Richard Veenstra, who was on 70 for the match and didn't get a shot. Extraordinary result. Somewhat forgotten that Damon Heta was making his first foray into an individual quarter-final in an event like this in 2020, his first year on tour. Lost out to Mervyn King by 10 legs to 8 in the final 8. And King would make the final, of course, and lose out by the odd leg to Van Gerwen.
It does make you chuckle, some of the criticism that's aimed towards Damon Heta at times, because he's apparently not very good on TV. I think he's the best player.
You require 140.
That's what they say is one of the worst players on TV. That's won 2 TV titles. Dolan's looking pretty good on the TV right now. Oh, wow. Well, this doubling from yesterday is back today for Brendan. That's 3 from 3, and he's got a 140. We've had 3 massive checkouts in this game already.
Long may it continue. Looking at social media accounts in the break between 2 sessions, everybody was marveling at the standard on both boards, as they should. It was fabulous. And that doesn't happen every event. As much as we'd like it to. You don't get 118 averages every day, and you don't get 112 losing averages every day. But we had that all this afternoon. And more. Not forgetting about Chisnell averaging 109. Humphreys 107. Searle 106 is looking pretty pedestrian compared to some of the other things we've seen. And at the time, we thought that was the performance of the tournament.
Bunting Hybrix underway on the main stage. Only just underway. This one is bubbling away, isn't it? That is actually the first 180 of the contest. I can't quite believe I'm saying that. It felt like there must have been more.
61. Damon, you require 167.
Choices here.
81.
That's not what he wanted. Could have gone bull, could have gone 54. Has a very healthy lead. And after a really hot start from Heta,
45.
I think Damon already knows
Damon, you require
that this one is going to be
86.
hard work. Whenever he gets a leg like this, just take care of it nice and easy. No stress. Get the
78.
choke mark and move on. Don't give Dolan any bonus chances, which, let's face facts, Dolan knows a thing or two about something like that. Because when he was playing against Kyvenhoven earlier,
90.
he should have lost.
Well, I'll come on to that in a moment.
Require 8.
There's a good way to put that stat.
Game shot in the
Damon Heta's
seventh
been
leg.
pretty good on that.
Damon Heta.
Double 4 goes in for the
Eighth
third
leg,
time in this
Brendan
match for
from
Heta,
first.
and he leads it
Game
4-3. Yeah, to put it in simple terms, Brendan Dolan survived more missed match darts at double in his match this afternoon than he had in his victory yesterday, and it was the same format. He hit 6 out of 6 yesterday. He survived 7 match starts this afternoon.
I think you've got to be in that position that Mike Kyvenhoven was in to understand just how nerve-wracking it could be.
40.
He was on the verge of getting the win. He didn't close the deal. He's going to have to live with that now before he goes to a qualifier on Monday for the World Championship.
And Dolan's brought his top level doubling to this match, 3 from 3. Heta is running at 50%. 5 perfect darts to start this leg from Brendan Dolan, but only down to 1-2-1 after another 7. And now Damon Heta is right with him.
80. Brendan require 121.
54 ball. There's the 54. But no
74.
bullseye, and you fancy Heta's going to try a different
Damon, you
route.
require 121.
We don't take out the 1-2-4. Not going to add the 1-2-1.
57. Brendan, you require 47.
It will be 15 and double 16. Almost left himself double 1 there. He does miss doubles in this leg,
Game shot in the 8th
but it
leg.
doesn't hurt him. It's 4-4.
Yeah, missed the
Ninth
bull
leg,
and missed the
Damon
double
is thrown
16, but
first.
nailed it
Game on.
in time to deny Heta a chance to open up a little bit of an advantage here, having had a lead of 2-0 and 3-1 in the match.
97.
At this stage of the tournament, Murph, we have to see if anybody is left who has to make that dreaded journey to the World Championship qualifier who is still in the tournament. In fact, everybody who's left is already in London. So anybody like Mike Kyvenhoven, they will be on their way to Barnsley post-haste to play on Monday. And Kian van Veen, who was in the tournament for about 15 minutes this morning, he is staying on site because he has a World Youth Championship final to play against Luke Little tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be as good as a lot of the stuff we've seen in this tournament. Busy darting few days. Of course, the quarters, semis and finals, along with that World Youth final tomorrow. And the World Championship draw happens on Monday, on the same day as that last chance qualifier.
It's one of the best days of the year, that World Championship draw. It's what dreams are made of. When you make your debut at Alexandra Palace, that is a popcorn moment.
Has it lost a little bit of its charm because the top 32 are now in round 2? So you get this position where I've got Michael van Gerwen, but I've got to beat this other guy first.
I don't think so. I think it's right in front of you, isn't it? The benefit of playing a qualifier. If you want that dream match against a seed, you know who it's going to be against, and you know what you've got to do to get it.
Yeah, got to earn it. And Damon Heta is a man who's earning his stripes in this sport, but Brendan Dolan here is going to get the opportunity to take the lead for the first time in the match.
90.
Brendan's done a really good job in this match of withstanding a very hot start from Damon.
Game shot in the
And he
ninth
leads.
leg.
We will have a break after the next leg. But is it going to be 6-4 Dolan, or will we be tied and come back for best of 9? It's very dependent on how Dolan will press the fast forward button here at the start of his throw in leg 10. And it's pretty good.
There's not much between them. If you look at the stats, the averages, 97 Dolan, 99 Heta. They both had 13 tons. 6 140s, Heta 5 for Dolan. A couple of maxis for Damon, 1 for Brendan. And they've both had big checkouts. But the finishing has been excellent from the pair of them. 50% Heta, 62.5% Brendan Dolan, 5 out of 8. They've both had as many darts at double as each other. It's a really high quality start to this evening's action.
And don't forget as well, Murph, that Damon Heta is the highest seed in this tournament left. He was the #1 seed last year. Also largely forgotten. But he's the #3 this time around. And if he's knocked out, the next seed is Dave Chisnell at 4.
57.
Well, Brendan Dolan didn't like that visit. It's just opened the door for Heta, but it's got to be crafty to leave something from 305. Got to hit the lot here.
126.
One of those weird range shots where if that first start had been the single, he could have still managed to hit 2 trebles to leave a finish, because he hit the 2 trebles first. The single couldn't help him.
So it is 2 visits needed for 179, and Dolan's done a great job there of getting into treble, single, double combination range. There's nothing that Heta can do about it. That's the best he could have done. But if Dolan hits this, it will be a 2-leg cushion at the break.
Wild and wide,
38.
and having earned himself that break buffer, he might be about to surrender it straight away. Heta gets tops and squares up this contest. It's been a real darting dust-up between Dolan and Heta. Really good quality stuff. The Australian is averaging more than 100 going into the break. He's played 10 of a possible 19 legs, and we're no wiser to knowing which way this will go. Stay with us.
Thank you for staying with us. It is tied at 5-all this game. Brendan did have a chance to be 6-4 up at the break, but he missed his opportunity at 108. And as a result of that, we are back on throw, meaning that Damon Heta just needs 5 holes of throw to win this one. Sounds easy, doesn't it? I'm sure it won't be that simple. But whoever gets through this one will be in the final day of the Players' Championship Finals for the second time.
Damon to throw first. Game on!
Damon was there in 2020. Brendan was there in 2021 when he made the semi-finals and lost to Ryan Searle by 11 legs to 6. He's still trying to defend that money, Murph. And if he loses today, he will go down the rankings a few places.
It's been a good game so far. Cat and mouse, really. Heta won the first couple of legs. 15 dart hole, 12 dart break. 128 checkout. Added a 124 to lead 3-1. Dolan hit back, winning the next 2 legs with a 140 checkout to his name. And then did get ahead at 5-4 with a break of throw in leg 9. But Heta broke back before the interval. And it's going to be that straight race that Paul Nicholson just described.
140.
First break in the game between Kim Huybrechts and Stephen Bunting, and the Belgian is 3-2 up. Be interesting to see how that one materialises over on the main stage, but we appreciate your company if you're staying with us on this one. We've got Dave Chisnell and Luke Woodhouse to come after this, which is tickling my fancy a little bit.
You're not alone. Damon Heta here is going for 120 bingo, isn't he? Bingo for Brendan there, full house. But he's had a 128, he's had a 124. Now he wants a 127. And double 8.
111. Brendan, you require 83.
For a third consecutive break of throw in this match, Dolan is praying that he's going to leave 32 after the first dart. And he does. That could be slightly awkward. Got to go high on this shot.
67.
Flight was definitely in the way on the 32 shot.
16.
Punishment incoming.
Game
Punishment
shot in the 11th
applied.
leg.
Damon Heta keeps
12th leg, Brandon to throw first.
slight control of this tight.
Incredibly precise, isn't he? That shot didn't even shudder that marker dart on the outside of double 8.
99.
Had this been best of 11, Heta would be through, but it isn't. It's best of 19 now. Proper darts from here.
Both players' first dart in the last visits have been absolutely perfect, but neither has managed to add a second treble.
Did you hear one of Damon's interviews in the last couple of days? He was talking about how he doesn't want to do this long term.
59.
No, that one must have been denied me, Paul. Fill us in.
He's talking about playing as much as he can as a professional darts player in the short term, because long term he does actually want to go back to Australia. He doesn't want to be here until he's in his 60s, still trying to qualify for tournaments. I think he wants to focus his efforts as a pro, make as much money as possible, win as many titles as he can in maybe a 10, 12-year period, and then it will be back to Oz for him, enjoy the riches, and maybe have a better climate.
96.
Good to have a plan, but if he is winning all those titles in, say, 8 years' time and still competitive at the top, it would be hard to walk away from potentially more riches, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm pretty sure that when Simon Whitlock moved to the UK, he had the same plan. He's still here. And he came over in 2010. That was 13 years ago.
Treble 20. And the 120 bingo continues. Tops for 125. So he's had 125 to the card, having had 124 and 128, and missed the chance for a 127 and a 121.
So which one's he going to leave this time?
But the thing is, if you are leaving 120 something, it usually means that you're there after 9 or 12 darts.
Excellent point.
45.
And Dolan is not doing that enough in this game. If you analyse the patterns of this match, Heta came out of the blocks at the start. Dolan had to wait for his chances in the first 5 legs. Heta from the break has come out hot again. If we mimic what happened in session 1, Dolan's about to get good.
99.
That must happen again, otherwise Heta could be as much as 4 legs ahead. Just a few minutes out of the break.
A reminder, the winner of this match plays the winner of the final of the 4 matches on this stage tonight. Jermaine Wattermainer against Ryan Joyce. And the winner of that will be in the semi-finals tomorrow night.
What's that word you were using earlier? Oh, that's right, opportunity. Yeah, it's a big opportunity for somebody. And if you consider those 4 players, how many of them have made the semi-finals before? Only Brendan Dolan on 1 occasion. That means huge opportunity for somebody. If Heta takes Dolan out, it means it would be a first-time semi-final for somebody.
76.
There's an awful lot of money up for grabs over the next 26 hours. £120,000 for the winner.
Not bad, is it? Not bad for a weekend's work down by the seaside.
Great darts from Dolan, but Heta gets first poke at an 80+ out. It's the bullseye for 8-5.
62.
That's the reprieve that Dolan required.
81.
To try and keep this game as tight as possible, he must take this, you feel. Heta will not miss double 8 or double 4. Biggest start of the match. And it's found by the very seasoned and brilliant Brendan Dolan, who for years has been heralded as the most underrated player on tour. Just think about, had he missed that double six and Heta hits the 25, he's out of sight. Now we've got a game back on our hands. And it's back on throw. It's almost as if we have followed that blueprint from session 1.
57.
I've always said that in this format, you've got to have a chin. Heta was standing at the back of the stage, eyeing up the carpet as he usually does before a throw, thinking, please give me a shot at that 25. Because if you do, you're going to pay for it.
140.
Yeah, Damon Heta, as Paul just said, could have been pretty much home and dry in this game, but still remains nip and tuck.
100.
And all of a sudden, just like session 1 again, the scoring is starting to desert Heta a little bit as we get further into stuff. First 2 or 3 legs are gone. The adrenaline of getting back on the stage is gone. You've got to play with this placid adrenaline level, which these players should know all about. Interesting play. Starting on the 19s on 2-2-3.
99.
Best dart is the last dart.
Brendan, you require
He's left. You guessed it. 120 plus shot.
One he's already got, though. Brendan Dolan, though, would be happy to get this to square up the contest. No, it's not close, Brendan. It's not close
75.
at all.
Damon, you require 124.
He'll be embarrassed at that dart, I assure you. But now, he's been given another reprieve.
56. Brendan, you require 40.
To be locked at 7-all, it's tops. Don't give him a shot at 68. He's already hit it. Very well done. Is there anybody better in world darts at not playing their best and still trying to eke out a result at this stage of a tournament than, say, I don't know, Brendan Dolan? Maybe not.
Yeah, all square. Well, what a start to the evening's action we've had here. Exactly as you predicted, Paul. Heta came out hot from the break, but Brendan settled back in.
100.
And there's no more rest in this game. It's a fight to the finish.
High quality game as well. Damon Heta's averaging 100. Brendan is hanging on with a 94. Doubles from Damon have been excellent at 50%. And Brendan's not that far behind him. Just a few measly percent under 50.
100.
It's locked on this stage and it's locked on the main stage as well. 4-4 between Hybrex and Bunting. As far as previous big runs in this tournament are concerned,
96.
there aren't many people who have been to the final. Searle has. He plays Humphreys tonight. What a game that'll be. Hybrex has been to the very first Players' Championship final here 10 years ago. Michael van Gerwen is the only champion left. Dave Chisnell's been to a final, but he lost to, you guessed it, Michael van Gerwen.
Good stuff from Heta. Dolan really needs to at least find 2 trebles to give Damon something to think about. Not that one, though.
43.
Dear. Well, he's left the history-making shot, Brendan Dolan. Will he get a go at it? Where's that? There it is.
Game Sean, the 15th leg.
And there is the double.
Damon Heta, 16th leg.
Heta
Brendan
leads,
the throw
8-7.
first. Game on.
The doubling from the Australians has been so good. So many lovely shots. Not just 3 darters, but the 2 darters are just as important. You always feel good when you take a leg with a dart in your hand. Because you've obviously done something right. something efficient. This is not a bad time to find a hot spell. Find 3 in a row.
61.
And you're home and hosed. And you're in bed before before anybody else is in the quarterfinal, really.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Feet up, watching the rest of the action unfold.
57.
Knowing you're already there. Sunday's trophy day in darts, isn't it? In the vast majority of tournaments. The big TV ones, anyway. Will Heta be getting his hands on one?
100.
Is he going to leave 1, 2, 4? No, he's not. He's pressing the accelerator now, and Dolan's in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, that's 5 maxis now for the Aussie ace. Here comes number 3 for his opponent.
A somewhat subdued helicopter finger there, because he might be 9-7 down. Double 6 lets him down this time. He could take the 72, but he can't take the 12. With the last start of that visit, giving Dolan yet another reprieve.
Well, it's the 180 he hit back, though, isn't it? He was done when Heta hit that maximum, and then he hit one in kind, and then lands a double, and once again, Brendan Dolan gets level. This is now a best of 3 legs encounter.
I'm starting to get PTSD from a game I once had with Dennis Ovens. It was best of 19 at Bolton, and I pummeled him into the ground, but he beat me. And this is the kind of performance that Brendan's putting in here. He's sticking around like a limpet in Damon's socks, making life very uncomfortable. And you just wonder what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 legs. Because the more this match goes on, the more awkward Damon will feel.
40.
Yeah, Brendan didn't enjoy that visit. I'm not sure how much you can pick up at home from what the players are saying, but I think it was great. Rather sarcastically
71.
muttered by Dolan there.
This could be some 6-star conversion here for Damon Heta. He's already had a 171.
60.
2 more treble 19s for 5 in a row and double 12.
We'll now go for the treble 20.
58.
There'll be some conversion from here if Brendan Dolan were to go out in the next 6 starts, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the benefit of actually leaving something like 3-4-7, because you can still leave a finish. Had he left 3-4-6, that's 3 visits. 3-4-7 is 2.
You require 80.
Yeah. Do listen to Professor Nicholson, children.
70.
But that's not what Dr. Damon ordered.
You can see from his gesticulation there that he really pulled that dart. Maybe the right shoulder got involved. Show me a person who likes double 5 and I'll show you a liar. Nobody likes an odd number double. Damon likes that one though. It's 9-8. He will have 2 attempts to get through to the quarterfinals for the 2nd time. This is hard work, and just remember as well, this is not their first game of the day. They have peaked once for a game earlier on, and they've had to peak again. It's not an easy thing to do.
Well, we've seen some dominant stuff this afternoon and indeed yesterday, but every single leg possible has been played so far tonight and could be played in both matches on this stage and the main. 5-all between Stephen Bunting and Kim Huybrechts. 9-8 to Damon Heta here.
This is a better game though. Bunting and Huybrechts are both averaging 92. Here, Heta's over 100. And Dolan, even though I don't think he's played that well, he's just been sticking around. He's still averaging 93 and change.
Finishing's just been that bit better than Heta's, hasn't it? Despite the 3-ton pluses from Heta, Dolan's striking still at 50%.
You can see that Damon's trying to stay really positive, really amped up by the end of this match. He's desperate to get this done without a last leg decider, but it's not really up to him right now.
19.
Well, 19s, he's shown that he can be good in that area. This should be the route for Damo. And now he can choose to go back up for the treble 20s.
99.
Second of which would have put him on a finish first.
With those two scores, 30 points apart, Damon knows he needs a mistake from the Northern Irishman to let him in.
60.
That is a mistake at this stage. If Damon puts in a big score here, he just needs one more minor mistake, and he could be on the cusp of a 10-8 victory, but he will not be happy with that.
117.
So, to force a sudden death shootout, 17. Tops.
97.
Heta has an opportunity. It's an outside chance, but it's a chance all the same.
He did get 1-2-8 with 2 treble 20s. Why not 2 treble 20s and double 14 instead of double 4?
Not to beat. Not now. But he will leave himself lurking in case Dolan does fluff his lines here.
20.
D10. For Brendan Dolan. Double 5. 1 up. Safe. And then that's the wrong bed. And that's a mistake that allows Heta a match-winning chance.
That was the mistake he craved. And now he's through. All you need is one chance. It was a very tough contest from start to finish. But when he came out onto the stage, he got the better start. He had the better start when they came back after the 10-leg break as well. But ultimately, it looks like Brendan Dolan just ran out of steam in the last 16. Damon Heta makes the last 8 for the second time in his career. 3 years on from doing it for the very first time. And Damon will play the winner of Jermaine Watamina and Ryan Joyce, which will be our final match here on Board 2 this evening. But before then, Tantalising Taste Buds with Dave Chisnell and Luke Woodhouse, which follows after this.